Okay, and we're finally on to step 5, borrowing materials. So just like holds, you can borrow 10 items per library card. So if an item is available, you can borrow it by tapping borrow under the cover image or borrow next to the smaller cover image, not actually inside the item's record. So we're going to practice borrowing both an audiobook and an ebook. So you get practice and see how it's slightly different, and the lending periods are slightly different for the two different types of materials. So we're still on that what's popular explore list, but this time we're going to refine by available now. So we're going to click refine, and we're going to do available now. So as you can see, any of these items, they're available to borrow immediately. So you can scroll down, and I think I would like to borrow the one and only Ivan. So if I wanted to borrow Ivan just from this list, I would click the word borrow next to the cover, but I'm actually going to go into the record, the one and only Ivan, and I'm going to click borrow underneath the book cover. So the first thing you're going to see up at the top is the message about what you're borrowing. So it says, you are borrowing the one and only Ivan for 7 days. Now, not many of us can finish a book in 7 days. So you do have the option to extend the lending period, but you have to do it before you borrow the item. So you're going to click on 7 days, and you can choose 7 days, 14 days, or 21 days for ebooks. For audiobooks, the lending period is 7 days and 14 days. So you want to make sure it's correct. So for this book, I want 21 days or 3 weeks. So it's changed to 21 days, and I'm going to go ahead and borrow. So right now, I could open the book, I could keep browsing, or I could go to the shelf. So what I'm going to do is keep browsing because I also want to check out an audiobook before we open it up. And then we'll go to our shelf and look at our books. And as you can see, the little circle next to the cover image, that is the icon showing that it's downloaded to your device. You do not have to download ebooks or audiobooks to your device if you want to save space. However, you will not be able to read or listen if you are offline. You will have to be connected to the internet. So I think it's always a good idea to just let the item download automatically and not delete it. But if your device is super full, I could see why you'd want to save space. So let's keep browsing. That will bring us back to our what's popular list. And this time, we're going to go up to the top and we're going to refine by format because remember we want an audiobook. But what we're going to do is we're going to change our preferences. And we're going to do that as audiobooks and apply. All right, so right now, these are popular audiobooks that are available immediately. So you can scroll down and see all of the different options. And I think I'm going to check out The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. So I'm going to click on the cover image and we're back in the items record, and I'm going to hit borrow again. Again, we're taken to that borrow screen, and I want to change the lending period as well. Audiobook, I would like it to be 14 days. It's correct. I'm going to borrow. Now, just so you know, audiobooks tend to take a little bit longer to download, especially if they are quite lengthy, but they still download, especially if your connection is strong, they still download pretty quickly. So now with my ebook checked out and my audiobook checked out, I would like to go to my shelf. So we're going to click on go to shelf. And right now we're in our holds. So we'll go back to the main menu of the shelf and we can see what we're reading now. So we have our holds. We're not reading it, but we hope to read it soon. And we have our recent loans. And so what we're going to do, we'll go to our loans and we can go ahead and open up our book. So we'll open up our ebook first. So you just tap on the cover, and it's going to ask you where you'd like to read The One and Only Ivan. You always are going to want to choose the Libby app because you have your school issued device. They are unlikely Kindle compatible unless you have downloaded and taken the extra steps to have the Kindle app on your device. So it'll just, in terms of ease of use, we'll just want to choose Read Book in the Libby app. All right, so it will open on the cover page, or the cover, and there's a couple of different ways to navigate a book. So you can navigate by chapters. So you can click on the chapter. Let's say you want to skip the dedication, the glossary, maybe you want to go to the table of contents. So you can click on that hyperlinked chapter and it'll bring you right to the table of contents. So what's also nice about ebooks is you can see the different chapters are hyperlinked. So if you maybe read part of a book with the actual physical copy and now have the ebook and you need to jump ahead, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to jump to The Loneliest Gorilla in the World. So I'm already to that chapter. Now, as you can see, that main menu disappeared. If you need to get it back, you just tap in the center of your screen. And so now I have the main menu. To remove it, you just tap again. To move through your book, you're just going to swipe from right to left or left to right. Okay. There are some other options too when you're reading. So if you want to search within the book, you can type on the spyglass icon. So let's say there was a quote that you really liked or something you wanted to get back to, you can search within the book. You can also play around with how big the font is. You can also play around with the lighting as well. So if you're reading at night, you might want to read in dark mode, you might want to read in sepia, or you might want to do bright. So we can change that and then hide. So that's going to change the color of the text. You can also bookmark as well. So it shows you right how to do this. If to place a bookmark, you're going to tap the top right corner of the page. To create a highlight, you're going to tap and hold a word, then swipe right or left. So you can do this if there's something you want to come back to, if there's a page you really like. It's a great feature as well for your ebooks. So like if I wanted to bookmark this page, I would just go like that and it's bookmarked. And when you leave a book, it's going to remember where you left off. So right now we're on page 31. If we want to go back, we're out of the book. If we open it back up, we should be on page 31 again, which we are. So it remembers where you are in your book or audiobook, even if you don't bookmark it. Bookmarks are more for going back to something you want to remember you really, really like. Okay. So now let's open our audiobook. So we're going to click on our audiobook. Ooh, that's strange, that color. But audiobooks are similar to ebooks, but you're going to have your main page throughout. So you're going to have the cover image, and you can jump around by chapters, but it's going to take you to the time in the book, not necessarily the page. We're going to hide that. You can play with the speed of the reading. So usually you probably want to keep it at what it's set at, but if you want it to read a little bit faster, you can mess around with that. But normal reading is the 1.00x. So you can play around with that. If you're listening at night, you can choose a preset run time. So like let's say you wanted to listen to a book as you fell asleep, you could choose for it to go for 15 minutes then shut off, or maybe till the end of the chapter, but it's really nice if you're going to bed listening to an audiobook. You can also bookmark as well in the audiobook, so you can jump back to spots in the book that you might want to listen to again, and you just do that by tapping in the upper right hand corner. And you're done. So, and if you open up the book again, the audiobook, it's going to remember where you left off, But let's say you wanted to listen to the previous minute of the book. You can always rewind by 15 seconds or go ahead by 15 seconds by clicking the 15 icon with the arrows. So that's navigating your audiobook as well. All right, so let's go back to our library. I hope this was a helpful tutorial on Libby. I know we covered a lot of material quickly, but remember, if you have any questions about Libby or any of the library's other digital resources, don't hesitate to contact your friendly youth services librarians. All right, friends, I hope you feel a little bit more confident and comfortable using Libby. Remember, if you have any questions or are struggling to get the app to work, please give us a call at the Youth Services Desk at the La Crosse Public Library. Our number is 608-789-7128, and we'll be able to walk you through any technical difficulties. You can also email us at yservicesstaff@lacrosselibrary.org. And remember, even though the library is closed, if you'd like us to pull a number of books for you, or if there are certain books or authors you'd love to check out and read, you can also give us a call and we'll pull book bundles or we'll help you request a specific title. I hope you're taking good care, friends, and we hope to see you all soon at the La Crosse Public Library. Bye-bye.